welcome back to a PODMAS episode of God Built This Podcast. PODMAS 2021 is here, and we're going to go and get straight into it. Before we get into this episode, PODMAS is a flip on Vlogmas that I started last year, and it is an episode produced and published every day from the 12th of December up until the 24th of December. So you get your little 12 days worth of podcast episode of God Built This Podcast. And this was inspired based off of the Vlogmas videos that I will watch on YouTube, in which a lot of YouTubers will produce vlog episodes of just their life and whatever from the start of December up until Christmas. And so I just flipped it and made it podcast style, in which I am only producing 12 episodes, which kind of matches the whole 12 days of Christmas situation. And so it is. So I started it last year and we're continuing it. And here we go. We're going to get into this episode by starting off with a tone. We're going to get into this episode by starting off with a tone. And this tone is needed because I feel like, tone is definitely, beneficial. It's effective. It is essential to any conversation. And before we get into this conversation, we need to set the tone. So give me a second as I get the clip for us so we could set the tone.
Because we understood that this nigga was clearly lying.
Who do y'all think I'm talking about? Give a guess. Give it a go. Who am I talking about? Jussie Smollett, a French actor. So it has been confirmed. We all knew it, but it has been confirmed in the court of law that Jussie Smollett is guilty for fraudulent claims, for being a liar, for lying to the people of America, the people of Chicago, the cops of Chicago, and to the whole freaking world, and monopolizing off of his gayness, off of his blackness, to push forward this activism role, or to appear like this hero who got attacked but survived, and he's the gay Tupac, he said. Like, nigga, shut the fuck up. You know what's interesting about this whole case is that I forgot that at the start of this, or right before this happened, this attack, quote unquote, this fake attack happened, Jussie Smollett was wanting to get a raise for his role in the show Empire that I never really watched. I never got into it. It just seemed too ghetto for me. I like a good black show, but can we cut it out? Like, I don't want to look at black people with big ass fur chains. Yeah, fur chains, I said. I don't want to see any of that stereotypical shit. Taraji P. Henson is an amazing actress, but I think sometimes she takes on these roles that are just so ghetto. I mean, am I wrong? Am I anti-black for saying that? She takes on these roles that are so ghetto. I want her in more of, what was that movie with her and Idris Elba? That Good Deed, I think it was. That movie was so good. And she was just a regular person. Like, she wasn't putting on this whole act. And, not to say that black people can't be whoever they are, but it was clear that she was just doing too much. And it was just too extra for me. I just never was into that show, so I never gave it a shot. But anyway, right before the fake attack happened, Jussie Smollett, his name is Jussie, I've been saying Jussie, but his name is Jussie Smollett. He wanted to get a raise for his role in Empire, but that producer of the show, he's another gay man, I forgot his name right now, but he did not approve for it. So he did not give him the raise, and of course Jussie was upset by it. And then conveniently a few weeks later, boom, Jussie Smollett is attacked. He is attacked late at night in the downtown streets of Chicago, and he's attacked by MAGA hat wearing men who saw this man leave a subway, like, it's just like, where are we going with this dumbass lie? Leaving a subway shop, and boom, he gets attacked. There was a noose involved in the attack, and Jussie thankfully survived, and it was a miracle. And as soon as this story broke out, it was an opportunity for any and everybody to show how woke they are. I am a woke white woman, and I understand the plight of black men, of gay black men in America. And so many people came forward showing their just public support for this man. And not once did anyone think, hey, this sounds kind of off, right? This was during the time, of course, when Trump was in office, and all of the hysteria that he caused the world, or that was put upon him based off of the media. Let's keep that a buck. Not to say Trump is innocent here, but you have to realize that the media plays a large role in how someone is depicted. And prior to Trump being in the presidential office, being the president of the free world, he was loved by the black community. He was not called a racist when he was doing The Apprentice. Okay? But now all of a sudden he's throwing bounty paper towels to Mexicans, and he's racist. Do you need the paper towels or no? Okay. So Jussie Smollett is found guilty. It's clear that he staged a hate crime, and he cost a lot of resources from the Chicago Police Department. And so this is what he has to face now. Now, I don't know what the sentence may be. I don't know if he's actually being sentenced. But I'm sure community service is involved. I do think that he should pay back all of the resource money that was spent on him, right? I feel like this should not go unpunished. Now, I don't think that he should be under the jail like Larry Hoover. Let's get into Larry Hoover in a moment, because I'm tired of y'all like idolizing this man who's responsible for the creation of a gang that has killed and tormented and demoralized the lives of many communities in Chicago and other areas. But we'll get into Larry Hoover another time, okay? Where was I before? But anyway, Jussie Smollett is seen as this hero. He survived this attack, and Kamala Harris was one of the people who was standing so firm with him and supporting him, and like saying how, we need to support him, and this is a horrible call to how this world is. And because of Trump being in office, he has pushed forward this idea of just being homophobic, of hurting and attacking gay black men. And I want to read this quote, or this tweet that she tweeted. I'll see if I could find it. I can't find it, but it was at the time when this happened, and Kamala Harris was super in support of Jussie Smollett, and it was seemingly just an opportunity for everyone to put on their woke hat and demonstrate how much they care about the lives of the disenfranchised. Now, what is bothersome about this whole situation is that, look, I think even in 2021, or at that time 2019, there are cases, maybe not as outright, but I'm sure there are cases in which gay men, gay black men, gay white men, gay Asian men, or specifically on gay, in which people are attacked because of their sexual orientation. I'm sure there are, hate crimes, right? I think that is still a thing. Now, do I think it is still as heavy and as abusive as it was in 1956? No, I don't think niggas have nooses. I don't think niggas really have nooses. Like, I'm sorry. I know it's, I don't think no one's really making time to create a rope and demonstrate that they're going to hang you from a tree. I just don't see it. Am I obtuse right now? I just don't see it. I think because we live in such a day and age in which bullying happens online, right? In which abuse happens online. This is something that we could see online more than we could see in person. People don't even know how to act in person anymore. People have lost social skills, like regular, everyday social skills. I hate when I see someone for the first time in that day and we're walking past each other, we're in the same workplace, and you don't say good morning. Hello? Do you not, am I a ghost? Do you not see me? Like, say good morning. A lot of people still lack that. A lot of people have been just desocialized from just interacting with people, with their peers, with colleagues, with whomever, and they don't even know how to say hello. They don't even know how to say good morning. They don't even know how to have small talk. Has someone who don't even like small talk, I hate small talk, but I know how to have it, right? I know how to talk. I know how to make eye contact with you and hold a conversation. A lot of us has lost that ability, and it's sickening. So you mean to tell me, despite a lot of people being desocialized from interpersonal skills, you are able to create a noose and attack someone as if you're going to lynch them? Huh? Like, can we shut the fuck up? Like, ain't no nooses anymore. Remember that car race, that car racer, that NASCAR car racer who suddenly he's a black man. First of all, what are you doing? Why are there black men in NASCAR racing? But okay, I mean, that's your passion, sure. But okay. So obviously he's the only black NASCAR racer ever, or at least that I know of. And all of a sudden he saw a noose hung up in his garage, in his professional like workplace garage where his NASCAR car is. And that became big time news because, oh my gosh, a noose has been implanted in this black NASCAR driver's garage. And again, nobody's doing that. Like, no one's doing that. No one's creating, no one has ropes anymore. You know how there's a lot of men out here who don't even know how to use their hands anymore. Never mind knowing how to have interpersonal skills. A lot of men don't know how to use their hands. Don't know how to be helpful. I'm gonna give you guys a quick flashback story. When I was with Boston Bay years ago, emphasize on the years ago, I remember one time I was over his house and I drove over there and I was about to leave after, I was just hanging out, chilling, whatever. And it's like about 11, 12 o'clock at night. At that time, I was at home in Boston. I'm living at home with my parents, right? And if you guys know Haitian culture, you still go home. Like, you don't sleep out. You don't, I'm sleeping at my man's house. I'm sleeping at my boyfriend's house. I'm sleeping at, I'm sleeping at my cousin's house. You don't even do that. Like, you stay in your own home. Like, you don't do that. And it doesn't matter how old you are. Even at that time, I was post-college and I was in my 20s. I still went home, okay? It was still expected and mandated, really, like mass mandated to go home. And so that's what I've done, like that whole time, right? So every time I would hang out with him, I would always go home. That night in particular, as I was getting in my car, as I was starting my car wouldn't start. At that time I had my Nissan Altima and it was a push to start. It was an 08. It was my baby, my first car. And my car wouldn't start. My car would not start. So I'm pressing the gas or the brake. Which one is it first? The brake, right? But I'm pressing the start engine and I'm trying to start it. And I think my battery is off. And I asked him, because he was or he was at the door. You know how you're at the door waiting to see if someone else drove off. He was at the door of his house, and then he's seeing that I can't start my car. So I tell him, yeah, my car's not starting. Like, can you help? Or like, I don't know, something you could do. He got irritated with me, y'all. He got irritated with me. He came to my car. Yo, I'm so happy I finally closed the door on that damn situation. He came out his house, walked towards my car. He didn't even do anything. Like, he didn't even like use his hands to try to figure out maybe my wheel was in the wrong position, or like he didn't know what to do. He didn't lift my car hood to see, oh, maybe this red wire is in the wrong tube. No, like he didn't do anything. And then he got mad at me for having the situation. Like, nigga, did I break my car? He didn't know what to do. He didn't know how to use his hands. So this goes to show that there are a lot of men out here don't know how to use their hands. That's what it shows. That's what it tells me. It tells me that there are niggas out here who don't even know how to use their hands. Now you mean to tell me there are niggas out here who are actually creating nooses? That's not happening. We live in a weird time where men aren't men anymore. Anyway, I just got hot for a second. I got hot. But that really irritated me. Like, how, if my car breaks down, know how to break it up, right? Yo, I feel like if I had a flat tire, he wouldn't have no one to do either. He'd be like, oh, I don't know, you call AAA? Like, are you on drugs? Are you dumb? Anyway, it's over. Maxine, we're fine. I gotta tell myself we're good. But you know who's awfully quiet at this time? You know who's awfully quiet? All of y'all, not y'all of course, because my listeners are smart. I love y'all. But all of those who defended Smollett up until every little detail was questioned, there were a lot of people still defending him, including Amanda Seales. Amanda Seales, for those who may not know, she is an actress and a comedian, and she is one of the cast members of the show Insecure. You know, she is very annoying also. Let's just keep that a buck. She is very annoying when she talks, when she gives her opinion on stuff. She acts very elitist and is just very annoying. She has from what she has said before in previous takes, she has a stick up for black men. Like, it seems like she doesn't like black men. And look, I don't know, whatever. So anyway, so she defended him. She said, quote, years ago when this happened, even if the attack was a hoax, it was a noble thing to do. It was a noble thing to do. And she said this on The Real when she was one of the hosts on that show. And girl, what? She said even if the attack was a hoax, that it was a noble thing to do. No, it's not. And I heard this take from several other people as well. I think it was Scotty Beam as well. She is like a social influencer. She was on the show State of the Culture when that was out. And she was in favor of, well, look, even if it is a hoax, even if it was faked, this still was necessary, and it opens a conversation, and basically saying that, so what? He lied. No, like, we should be able to point out that, hey, you lied. This was a lie. This was a fucking lie. And it's not a noble thing. It's noble to lie. Is that noble? Is noble to fake a gay attack? Huh? There are people who actually have suffered from hate attacks, right? And yet, you know, nowadays it's different from how it looks like back then, 1950s. But in 2019, 2020, 2021, hate crimes happen in different formats. It's not noble to fake that. It is not at all commendable to fake that. So to get on your high horse. And for all those who have supported him to the end, and even though I'm sure they even believed and wondered themselves that, hey, this seems like it's looking a little fishy, they are not coming out and saying, hey, you know what, I went on the bandwagon and I was wrong, and look, I was wrong. He shouldn't have lied. Like, a lot of times you don't see people who recognize that, hey, I was wrong on this, and, shit, my bad. Instead, they're quiet. Instead, they're silent on it. Kamala Harris, I have yet to hear or read any tweet that she tweeted about this now that he's found guilty, because in 2019, when this happened, Kamala Harris was definitely in favor of Jussie Smollett. She's like, he's the sweetest, kindest man I know, and for this to happen to him is a clear, obvious take on how the world is because of who's in office, and blaming the Trump office to be the reason why MAGA hat wearing folks are so outright in your face about their racism, about their homophobia, etc. When it's like, no, girl, this had nothing to do with any of that. He lied. And Biden said something too at that time in favor of Smollett, and they're quiet, they're mute. And it's funny, and people could say, oh, well, they're busy now, they're in the office, Biden's president, Kamala's VP. It doesn't matter. At that time, they were busy too. Though they was in the office yet, they were still in busy ass roles. They had something to say then. Okay? So this whole excuse is irrelevant. And Amanda Seals and countless others who supported Smollett, I want to hear from y'all. Just like I want to hear from y'all about Kamala Harris. All this big time energy for Kamala Harris being the first VP who is Black, who is Asian American, who is a woman, and the great strides that she made. She's doing a shitty ass job. Can we get into that? She's doing a shitty ass job. Okay? She is called a bully. She is seen as unprepared, incompetent, and she ridicules her staffers. This is from reports that has been claimed regarding Kamala's performance so far in her VP role. And what's interesting about this, or what's really strange, is that there are a lot of top staffers who left the office or is about to leave by the end of this year. And these staffers include Ashley Etienne. She is the Veep's communication director, and Simone Sanders, who was a top aide. And actually is a total of 4 prominent staffers who have announced their departure. So what does that say about the workplace environment? Huh? What does that say about the workplace environment, about what's going on in this workplace? What is going on with Kamala's leadership skills? What was it? It was a few months ago when we didn't hear a peep from Kamala Harris. Like, she was quiet as a mouse. We didn't hear anything from her, and yet we just heard her giggles, Yet she is seen as just a poor leader. And I just want to hear from all of the AKAs out there. Hello? I want to hear from all of the sorority members who supported her, and all the Black women who was like, that's my VP. I'm only voting because of Kamala. Not because of Biden, I'm voting because of Kamala. Well, how is she doing in your eyes? How do you think she's doing? Huh? You think she's doing a good job? I think she's doing a shitty job. I get the sense from her that she's not an approachable leader. Now, I think with being a leader of any job, it's difficult. You're not going to always be liked, but I think overall, a leader should be one who operates off of grace and strength and understanding. And I think there's a lot of great traits that a leader should have. And I often see from female leaders, and I'm just going to focus on female leaders because I know male leaders are a whole different bag. But female leaders, I think in particular with them, and in particular with Black female leaders, I think there's this like high horse they get on, like, I'm the head bitch in charge. Don't fuck with me. You go by my rules. And so there's no opportunity for this leader to really be graceful, to really be of the people, to really be a voice and an advocate for her employees. I don't see that for her. I had a former boss who was a Black female. I hated that bitch. Oh my God. I hated that bitch to this day. And a large reason why I hated her is because she lacked grace. She lacked approachable like aura. She was not someone who I felt comfortable with because she didn't create an environment that was comfortable. She was very much rigid, very much she lacked interpersonal skills, human skills, again with that. And I just never understood why she was like that. She was just a fucking bitch. That's what she was. And I hated her. I really hated her. I hated my time under her wing, quote unquote. Not even her wing, because that sounds endearing. Nothing about her was endearing. Oh, even talking about her gets on my nerves. But I really disliked her. And those who know. But I really disliked her. And I feel like with Kamala Harris, I get the same vibe from her. And it seems to be a trend. I don't want to say all Black female leaders, Black female bosses. Look, I'm going to give y'all some grace. Finally you're in a position of authority. No one's, the white man, the white woman isn't telling you what to do. And so you're getting off on that high. And, maybe grace should be given to you for trying to figure it out. Sure. But I also feel like, calm the fuck down, right? Calm the fuck down. Like, I think oftentimes people have a tainted or warped idea of what a leader is or a boss is. They think if you're a bitch, then that means you're a boss. If you're rude to people, then that means you're a boss and you can't take shit from people. Or like even when you walk into a room, they say, if you're the loudest in the room, you're the most insecure. You're trying to gain attention. You're trying to gain this deception type of respect when you don't have to be loud. You could just be quiet and still demand, not even demand, but still command a room. That's what I mean. You could still walk into a room with grace, with style, with class, with just a kindness to you. And you are still the leader that you are. It doesn't make you any less of a leader. And I think with a lot of people's idea of what a leader is tainted from this idea that you have to be this angry bitch. And I just hate that. I really hate that. So I really hope so many people get a better take on what a leader looks like and become a better one. Like, and you don't have to have a specific title to be a leader. Like, you could be in a humble position and still be a leader in that position. It doesn't matter. So people also like to think, oh, because I have this doctorate degree, or because I have this, shout out to me, I have a master's degree, but even with that being said, I don't walk around with my head like snooting and pooting. Like, relax. So anyway, I feel like with Kamala Harris, she presents this aura of just being a bitch. So I could see why 4 staffers in prominent roles have left their position. I could see why she's described as a bully. I could see it all. I could really see it all. So, I just think overall, to wrap up with this PODMAS episode of 2021, episode 1, what we're taking from this episode is Kamala Harris is a bully and Jussie Smollett is found guilty. Okay? We're going to wrap it up here. Thank you guys for listening, and I will check in with you all tomorrow. Wow. Can you get enough of me? No. All right. Peace.